Hey, what's up guys? This is Randy from Rhandz Graphix. Welcome back to my After Effects tutorial channel, and in today's tutorial, we will be creating this. Let me start by creating a new composition, and I will name it logo placeholder. (1920 by 1080p) and 25 frames per second, and the duration I will change this to 20 seconds. Click OK. I will open my folder assets. I will drop down this logo into the timeline. Press this on my keyboard for the scale and Shift A for the position. Change the scale here to 15%. Then I will change the position on the Y-axis 413. Go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it slogan. Change the width to 800 and the height to 70. 25 frames per second and 20 seconds duration. Click OK. I will zoom it in, grab the text tool and type slogan here. Center it. Change the font here. I will change this to Obitron. Then I will highlight it all, change this font size to 36. Then I will expand this text layer, go to animate using tracking. I will move my playhead to about 1 second and 15 frames. Create a keyframe on the tracking amount. Move back my playhead to the beginning of my timeline and I will change the tracking amount to 30. Highlight this keyframe and go to keyframe assistant. Choose this easy ease in. I will highlight this keyframe, go to keyframe assistant, easy ease out. Okay. Center it again. Now go to composition and create a new composition. This time I will name it logo matte. I will change the width to 1920 and the height I will change this to 1080. 25 frames per second and 20 seconds duration. Click OK. Then I will drop down this logo placeholder into the timeline. Go back to composition and go to composition settings. I will change the color here to 46, 45, 45. Click OK. Note guys that we are using 16 bits per channel for a better color accuracy. So all I have to do is to highlight this logo placeholder. Press my keyboard Ctrl D to duplicate it 3 times. Then I will highlight this logo placeholder. Go to Effects and Preset, Matte, Simple Choker. I will set the value here to 6.90. Change the track matte here to Alpha Inverted Matte. I will highlight this logo placeholder. Go to Effects and Preset. Go to Stylize. I just add Find Edges. Then go back to Effects and Preset. Go to Color Correction. Add Tint. Change the track matte here to Luma Inverted Matte. Go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer. Then I will go to Effects and Preset. Go to Stylize. I will add Glow. I will not change anything in here. All I have to do is to go to Effects and Preset. Go to Generate and I will add Vegas. I will change the color here to white. Change the width here to 1. Midpoint opacity, I want it 1. The midpoint position, I will change it to 0.999. The end opacity, I will change this to 1. I will go to segments. I want it change 1. And open the image contours. Change the render here to selected render. Then go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it neon logo. 1920 by 1080p, 25 frames per second and 20 seconds duration. The background is gray. Click OK. Open project panel and drop down this logo matte into the timeline. Please note guys that we are using here 16 bits per channel to have a better color accuracy, okay? So I will highlight the logo matte and go to Effects and Preset. Go to Generate, Vegas. I will change the segments here to 1. Open this image contours. I will change the threshold to 191. Then the tolerance, I will change this to 0. Then I will change the render here to selected contour. And the channel here, I will change this to alpha. I will go to rendering and change the width to 5. The hardness, I will change this to 1. The opacity, I will change this to 1. Then the blending mode here, I will change it to stencil. Press my keyboard Ctrl D to duplicate it 16 times. Then I will highlight this logo matte 16 and 17. I will change the color code to dark green. Highlight this logo matte 13. Change this color code to cyan. Highlight this logo matte 11 and 12. I will change the color code here to fuchsia 9 and 10. Change the color code to brown, and I will change the color code here to logo matte 7 and 8 to orange. Highlight this logo matte 6. Change the color code to purple. Logo matte 5, change this to green. Logo matte 4, I will change this to blue. And the logo matte 3, seafoam. Logo matte 2, I will change this to peach. The logo matte 1, I will change this to lavender. Then I will move my play to about 4 seconds and a frame. I will highlight this logo matte 16 and 17. Press open bracket key to move the layers. Then move my play to about 5 seconds and 2 frames. Then go to edit, split the layers. Then delete the splitted layers. Highlight this logo matte 14 and 15. Press open bracket key to move those layers. Move my playhead to about 5 seconds and 20 frames. And go to edit and split layers. Then delete the splitted layers. Move my playhead to about 5 and 23 frames. Then I will highlight this logo matte 13. Press open bracket key to move that layer. Move my plate to 6 seconds and 14 frames. Go to edit and split layer. Then I will delete this layer. I will highlight this logo matte 11 and 12. Press open bracket key to move that layer. Move my plate to about 6 seconds and 23 frames. I will highlight this logo matte 9 and 10. Press open bracket key to move that layer. Then move my playhead to about 7 seconds and frame. Then I will highlight this logo matte layer 7 and 8. Press open bracket key to move those layers. I will press my keyboard page down to move forward my playhead 1 frame. I will highlight this layer and press open bracket key to move that layer again. I will press my keyboard page down. I will highlight this layer, press open bracket key. I will again press my keyboard page down to move forward my playhead 1 frame and highlight this layer, press open bracket key. Move forward my playhead 1 frame by pressing the keyboard page down. Highlight the layer, press open bracket key to move that layer. I will press page down again 1 more time and highlight this layer, press open bracket key. Highlight this logo matte 1, press open bracket key to move that layer. Then I will change the input layer here to logo matte 2 and the selected contour I will change this to 9. I will also change the selected contour on the logo matte 2. Highlight this logo matte 13, change the selected contour to 8. Move the playhead forward to see what we are doing here. Highlight the logo matte 12, change the selected contour to 5. Then highlight the logo matte 11. I will change the contour to 2. Highlight logo matte 9 and I will change this to 2. Highlight logo matte 8, change the selected contour here to 3. Then highlight the logo matte 7, change selected contour here to 4. Then I will highlight this logo matte 6. I will change this selected contour to 5. I will highlight the logo matte 5 and change the selected contour here to 6. I will highlight the logo matte 4, change the selected contour to 7. I will highlight the logo matte 3 and change the selected contour to 8. There should be R here, so all I have to do is to change the selected contour here to 2. And then highlight this logo matte 14, change the selected contour to 5. I will just highlight this logo 13 and go to edit and duplicate it. Highlight the bottom, change the selected contour to 4. So we will preview it. There you go, that's what we want. So now I'm gonna go to composition and create a new composition. I will name it neon scene. (1920 by 1080p, 25 frames per second, 20 seconds duration. Click OK. Then I will drop down the neon into the timeline. I will just go back to composition, go to composition setting. I will just change the time duration here to 15 seconds. Click OK. Highlight this neon composition, go to effects and preset. I will add directional blur. I will change the blur length here to 168. Then go back to effects and preset. Go to blur and sharpen and add fast back blur. I will change the iterations here to 1 and the blur radius I will change this to 60. Then I will highlight this neon composition, click T on my keyboard for the opacity, change this opacity to 60%. I will highlight this composition, press Ctrl D on my keyboard to duplicate it. I will disable this 3D layer. I will click T on my keyboard for the opacity. I will change the opacity to 100%. Right click my mouse and pre-compose it. I will name it Neon BG Light. Move all the attributes in the new composition. Click OK. Double click your mouse to open it up. Then highlight this neon. Change the directional blur direction to 90 degrees. Then the blur length, change the amount to 100. Blur radius, change this to 47. Duplicate this composition. Delete this directional blur and change the blur radius to 27. Then go back to neon scene, enable the 3D layer here, go to effects and preset, stylize, glow, duplicate this glow, then go back to the first glow, change the glow radius to 161, go to glow 2, change the glow radius to 161. Highlight the neon BG light, click T on your keyboard for the opacity. I will just make this opacity 25%. Then I will duplicate this neon below by pressing my keyboard Ctrl D and then drag it up above the neon PG light. Press T on my keyboard for opacity. Change this to 100%. Delete this directional blur. Then change the blur radius to 1. Go to effects and preset, stylize, glow. Change the glow radius here to 2. Then go to edit, duplicate it. I will not change anything in here. All I have to do is to duplicate the glow 2. And change the glow radius here to 5. Duplicate the neon 2 below again by pressing Ctrl D on your keyboard. Then drag it up this directional blur. Change the blur radius here to 20. Then I will highlight this neon number 2. Press my keyboard Ctrl D to duplicate it. I will drag it up on top. I will just delete this glow number 3. I will change the glow radius here to 176. And the glow intensity, I will change this to 3. Scroll down and change the glow radius here on the glow to 20. And the glow intensity, I will change this to 0.1. Then I will click T on my keyboard for the opacity and change this to 60. Highlight this composition, press T on my keyboard for the opacity and I will change this to 50%. Then I will highlight the neon number 1. I will just add here fastbox blur. Change the iteration to 1 and the blur radius I will change this to 30. Then I will go to layer, create a new null object. I will move my playhead back beginning of my timeline and I will highlight all these neon compositions. Right click my mouse and go to time, enable time remapping. I will move my playhead to 1 second duration, change this value here to 4. Move my playhead forward to about 4 seconds and 16 frames. Then change this value here to 8.09. Then again, I will move forward my playhead to about 8 seconds and 12 frames. Then change this value here to 9.16. Then again, move forward your playhead to about 9 seconds and 6 frames. Change this value here to 4. Forward your playhead to the end of your timeline. One by one, I will just copy this keyframe and paste it. Highlight this keyframe and again go to edit and paste it. Highlight this one and go and paste it. Do the same thing to the keyframes below. So when we preview this one, yep, that's what we want. Okay. I will close this. I will enable the 3D layer on the null object, highlight all these neon compositions and parent it to the null object, and then rename this null object 2 to null object 1. Then I will go to composition and create a new composition. I will name it neon logo with slogan. 1920 by 1080p, 15 frames per second, click OK. Then I will drop this neon scene into the timeline and the slogan. Move forward the playhead to about 4 seconds and 18 frames. Press open bracket key to move the slogan layer on that duration. Press P on your keyboard for the position, drag it down. Move your playhead to about 9 seconds and 2 frames. Create a keyframe here by hitting this stopwatch. Move your playhead to about 9 seconds and 10 frames or so. Change the opacity to 0. Let's move back the playhead here and let's preview this. Nice. That's what we want, okay? Now go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it scene comp. 1920 by 1080p, 25 frames per second and 12 seconds duration. Click OK. I will drop down this neon logo with slogan and I will open these other elements. I will drop this texture down into the timeline. I will right click my mouse and pre-compose it. I will name it texture. Move all the attributes into the new composition. Click OK. Enable 3D layer here. I will go to effects and preset. Go to color correction, curves. Drag this down a bit to darken it and go to effects and preset. I will add color correction levels. I want to change the input black here to 3855.1. Then the input white I will change this to 25700.4. Go to effects and preset, go to stylize, go to CC repeatile. I will change this expand up to 6000 and the expand down I will change this to 841. Then highlight this texture, right click your mouse and pre-compose it. I will name it texture floor. Move all the attributes into the new composition. Click OK. Enable the collapse transformation switch here. Disable the visibility of this texture floor. Then I will go to layer, new, create a new adjustment layer. Go to effects and preset, blur and sharpen, add compound blur. I will change the blur layer to the texture floor. I will open again the texture floor, expand this layer and go to transform. Change the X rotation to 90 degrees. Drag it down. Increase the size of it. Then I will go back to my scene comp, open it up, highlight adjustment layer and change the maximum blur to 30. Uncheck this stretch map to fit. Then highlight this neon logo and go to edit, duplicate it. I will drag down this logo just below the adjustment layer and expand this layer. Go to transform and change the X rotation to 180 degrees and drag it down. Like that should be good enough. Highlight the texture floor and go to edit, duplicate it. I will drag this up just above the neon logo slogan and enable the visibility of the texture. Then press T on my keyboard for the opacity. I will change the opacity to 2%. Press on my keyboard P for the position, Shift S for the scale. We'll just scale it up a bit, drag it up a bit. Like this. Grab your pen tool, just draw a mask like this. Click M on your keyboard to open the mask. Expand the mask. Change the mask feather to about 100 and enable the 3D layer here. Go to 1 second, move this layer on that duration. Then move your playhead probably 9 seconds and 6 frames. Go to edit and split the layer. Then delete the splitted layer and let's preview it. There you go. Go to layer, create a new camera. I will just use custom camera, click OK. Go back to layer, create a new null object. I want this null object a 3D layer, parent the camera to the null object. Now go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it main. 1920 by 1080p, 25 frames per second, 12 seconds duration, click OK. I will go open my project panel and I will drop down this scene comp into the timeline. Go open the project assets, open these other elements. I will drop down this optical flare into the timeline. Right away I will recompose it. I will name it optical flare. Move all the attributes into the new composition, click OK. Press my keyboard T for the opacity. I will change this opacity to 80%. Then I will highlight this optical flare, go to effects and preset, go to color correction, hue and saturation. I will change and check this colorize, change the colorize hue to 217. Then change the blending mode here to add. Then I will go to layer and create a new solid and I will name it fade out. Click OK. Press T on your keyboard for opacity. Move your playhead at the beginning of your timeline. Create a keyframe here by hitting this stopwatch on the opacity. Move your playhead forward to about 1 second and change the opacity to 0%. Right click your mouse, keyframe assistant, and I will choose this easy in. Move back your playhead to the beginning of your timeline. Highlight this keyframe and right click your mouse, keyframe assistant, easy ease out. Go to layer, create a new adjustment layer. Go to effects and preset. I will go to stylize and add glow. I will change the glow threshold to 70%. The glow radius I will change this to 40 and the glow intensity I will change this to 0.3. Then go to effects and preset. Go to blur and sharpen. Add fastbox blur. I want the iteration only 1. The blur radius I want 0.3. Then I will go back again to effects and preset and I will add sharpen. Then I will change the sharpen amount to 20. Go again to effects and preset. I will add color correction by Rhandz. I will change the amount by Rhandz to 30. I will probably change the glow intensity here to 0.2. As you can see here that you can hardly read the slogan here. So all I have to do is to open the scene comp and highlight the neon logo with slogan. Click P on my keyboard for the position. Drag it down a bit. Just like that. And then go back to the main and let's see. There you go. Preview it. So now guys, we are done with our tutorial and thank you very much for watching. For those people who subscribe the channel, thank you very much. And for those who have not, press the button subscribe. It will help me a lot in my algorithm. Press like and share it to your friends if you'd like. Press the notification bell so that you will be notified if I have videos to upload, okay? My thoughts for today guys is that there's a saying goes, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So don't stop learning guys. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time. God bless.